Hi, Brian McAvoy here with Inside Out Trading, and again, today we're talking about blind spots. Today's blind spot we're going to be talking about is one that really affects almost everybody that gets into trading, and it's a little trap that trips everybody up, and almost everybody has to learn it the hard way.
Before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and if you're on YouTube, make sure that you go ahead and click the notification bell.
Okay, so with today's blind spot, what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the simplicity, the apparent simplicity of trading. Most people that get into trading are above average intelligence-wise. Generally, you're above average in a lot of regards. Intelligence, that's a common thing, been known for a long time. You're probably above average in, income. Most traders are. You're well above the poverty line. You're certainly not at average. You're probably a fairly successful person. Not that everything's worked out for you in life. Maybe it has, but generally speaking, you're probably a fairly successful person. Most things that you've pursued, you've been able to make it work, and so you're an accomplished person, and that's really cool. And these things are true. And how can I say this? Well, you wouldn't be in a position to trade if they weren't true, and that's really cool. Now, part of the curse of that, though, being above average, when you look at something like trading, it can appear so simple, and because you're smarter than average, you look at it and you're like, I get it. That looks pretty cool. I can do that. And so it's really, really easy to get sucked into it thinking that, oh, I get it. All I really need is a good system and, a way to stick to it. And yeah, man, I'm already envisioning, the dollars rolling into my account and all this kind of stuff. And it's really easy, for it to happen to somebody that's above average, because you look at it, you get it. It's like, okay, yeah, just find a good system, or you hear this, this pitch, and wow, that really makes a lot of sense, and you grab the system, and then, bam, okay, I'm set for life. And again, it's the apparent simplicity that creates the blind spot. The truth of the matter behind the blind spot, what it's really easy for a lot of people to miss, is trading is not that simple. That's like saying, I'm going to go down to Vegas. I picked up this system on the internet, watching a YouTube video, and I'm going to go down there and make $1 million this weekend down at Vegas. Not that easy. The thing is, of course, and I can use that example. Trading does involve speculation, dealing with odds and the unknown, that kind of stuff. It's applicable. But the thing is, with trading, you're in business. You're self-employed. It's just you and the markets. And it is a skill-based profession. It's simple on the surface, understanding how it works, but getting into it and being able to do this, buy and sell securities in a dynamic environment with lots of inputs and variables, and do it over and over and over again, hundreds or thousands of times over, months or years. No, it's not that simple. And the thing is, again, this is a skill-based business. First of all, and we talked about this in one of the other videos, you're the investor in your business. So that requires a skill set in and of itself. How do you even choose trading? And okay, now that you have, from a business investor standpoint, there's a skill set that goes with approaching that successfully. Once you get into trading and you say, all right, I'm going to, I've made the decision, I'm going to put my money over here and I'm going to set up a, trading investment firm of my own. Okay, now you're talking about starting up a business. And okay, there are tons of variables, things that you have to choose in getting into trading. What are you going to trade? How often are you going to trade? Whatever. There's a whole slew of questions that you have to work through, because there's like a jillion different ways to trade. Your involvement can be everything from, just putting your money into an investor account and somebody else trades it for you and you just check your account balance once a month, to, you can be trading almost round the clock with Forex and just live trading, staring at a chart 16 hours a day. And anything in between. So you got 100 different ways you can be involved in it, and then of course, all the different variables to it. So just like in most any other business. A lot of people like to think that this is unique to trading. It's true with a lot of other businesses. Even if you just, you say, I want to get into the food industry. Okay, that means everything from a lemonade stand, to a, frozen food market, to, frozen food factory, to ice cream or a restaurant. And say, even if you narrow it down to restaurant, there's like 50 different kinds of restaurants. So there's always a ton of variables that go into how you're going to go about the business. And with every business, there's loads of ways to do it wrong for you, or right for somebody else, but wrong for you. And there's tons of ways to lose money. So being profitable when you're entering into a new business, especially if you've never run a business before, takes a skill set to organize, plan, and execute that plan and actually start up a successful business. So, okay, what are the other skill sets that you need? Well, you're self-directed. You don't have a boss now to manage you and lay your responsibilities out for you and set your priorities for you. You have to manage yourself. That takes a skill set to manage yourself effectively and not have loads of wasted time and attention and energy and resources and all that kind of stuff. So self-management is a skill set that you need. You also discipline and consistency, getting consistent results. That's a skill set in and of itself. To just say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be consistent about it. Again, not that simple. There are ways to either, make things more consistent or fly by the seat of your pants and hope for consistency. So anyway, the blind spot is trading is so simple. The reality is trading is a skill-based profession, and there are several skill sets that you need to be a successful long-term investor. The sooner you get trained up on the skills, the easier it will be, the more successful you'll be. But you have to first understand and see, again, blind spot, that this is a skill-based profession. You want to get paid like a professional, you really need to, become the professional. And that requires acquiring and developing the skills needed to do that job and do it well and do it in a knowing manner where you know what you're doing. I mean, I have a ton of people come to me. I've had arguments with, other trading psychologists, where they've written the book and, everybody's thinking, I got all these psychological issues and understanding this, psychology of trading. It's not that difficult. Most traders, you don't have psychological issues. You don't have discipline issues. You don't have some deep-seated mommy-daddy issues. You have lack of training issues. You're trying to do a job that you're not prepared for. That's why it's so freaking tough. That's why your results aren't that good. That's why it's so stressful. That's why it's almost impossible for it not to be emotional. You're trying to do a tough job and you haven't been properly prepared. So again, see past the blind spot. Time to seek out training. The more trained up you get, the more skills you acquire, the more you broaden your understanding, the easier it'll be, and it'll just naturally, you'll calm down, because as you become better and more skilled, you'll more easily meet the challenges of being a self-directed trader. Okay, that's one of my favorite rants. I hope this has been helpful. If you found it helpful and you think others would as well, share it on your social media channels. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit the like down below. We'll see you in the next video. Again, it's Brian with Inside Out Trading. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.